Alright, so to start the video off, you see on certain iPhones, I know for a fact the iPhones that don't have 5G, you're not able to get TikTok. Still, you're not able to re-download it, and it's not on the the app store on the iPhone. So I want to just get something clear right now. Everybody's saying, well, the orbs and the drones disappeared because of Trump, and Trump had something to do with TikTok and this, that, and the third. So to talk about that and to elaborate on, orbs, like I said before, plasma is a form of life. It's oxidized after gas, okay? You go solid, liquid, gas, plasma. It's a different type of life. So if people are saying, well, the orb's holographic, this, that, and the third, and Trump is everybody's dropping a note on Trump and saying Trump was informed as being a president of the United States of America that he knew that there's a such thing as aliens and they let him know or whatever. And the TikTok ban is a big part of it because the TikTok app is introducing 5D. Now, if you notice, I said 5G. 5G, I'm not sure if 5G phones you're able to get TikTok, but the old phones before 5G on the iPhone line, you're not able to get it or re-download it. If you never deleted it, then you'll still have it. But if you change the region, if you master reset your phone that's not 5G, you're still not able to get the TikTok app. So the TikTok app was introduced in 5D. They're slowly showing us what it is. To tell you what 5D is, 5D is basically a new feeling of dimension, a new feeling of life. If you're thrown off, if you're sleeping and then thrown off, or if you're at your desk at work and you're thrown off by a loud sound, and there's a picture in the sky or a hologram in the sky, you got to get immune to that forever because they're trying to make this thing forever. That's what you people fail to realize. It's not try the technology out, and if it's too much problems, then we get rid of it. They saying no, you have to keep it in there forever. An accident is an accident. Things happen. An example of this is who? Elon Musk. The cars is too dangerous. If a person's not, or if a person is controlling it, whatever. So when a UFO and aliens is gas. When a gas oxidizes, it turns into plasma. Mind you, electricity is in everything. Okay? The orbs are natural and they were here first. The purpose of orbs and stuff like that, water, whatever, was for the giant trees that are no longer here in America. So basically, the UFO, the plasma, the gas, whatever you want to call it, is basically mating with the earth. And certain nuclear chemicals and certain type of radiation frequencies or electricity, certain certain stuff like that aren't supposed to be located in a certain place of the earth. It causes tremors, it causes vibrations, it causes earthquakes, it causes twists. Also, you have to realize that an orb or a UFO can attack us as human beings, let alone a man-made object that's closer within its reach. That's something you people pick up on. That's that fright feeling. You ever felt that paranoid fright feeling? That goes hand in hand with paranormal, interstellar, and interdimensional, meaning UFO and alien contact. You know how you feel it and you can't see it, but it's like a rush. So it's kind of like that. It's about being out of shape. If your heart isn't strong enough, your heart is the strongest muscle in the body. So if your heart isn't strong enough, you have to do cardio to get it stronger, right? However, if it's a weak heart, you'll be sensitive to everything around you. Your sensory, your nerves will be sensitive. That's obvious. If you don't drink a lot of water, like a lot of water, being that we live in houses now, like the human body, as we know, wasn't designed to live in houses. It was designed to be outside. But due to the temperature and nature changing, and adaptation and people being smart because you watch an animal. You know how back in the day our ancestors used to watch animals, and animals were smart. You see how your house cat, your house dog is smart. So that's how we adapted. All right, but we as humans, we live inside now, and we take a punishment. And cardio, the heart, the strongest muscle, has electricity in it. I'm just saying. So now when you put these drones and stuff in the vicinity, you forget that the orb is permanently burning the air wherever the whole course that it takes, the whole path, right? It's basically staining the path. You understand that? So wherever it stains, it takes power from. So if it's on a certain grid or certain course, it takes power from that specific line in course. So it's like debris, residue, dirt, stink. You stink. The UFO, it left a stinky trail. It left a trail. Okay? Now in this trail, this trail that's in the sky, it has and is combust, meaning filled up with a whole bunch of chemicals, with a whole bunch of plasma, with a whole bunch of gas, and stuff like that, electricity. And it's spreading both ways. It's going up, down, it's going the other way, left and right, north, south, east, west, or southeast, southwest, all of that. Northeast, northwest, is going each and every type of way, like a compass, from that trail. So anything that's man-made, made from electricity, can be deactivated, such as a plane. And it doesn't have to be deactivated right then and there with one-on-one contact. If you take a plane ride and you didn't know that it's taking the same course that the UFO took the night before, your plane is subject to crashing. That's why they take water, and the people and the pilots know that. So you're subject to a plane crash that way, because the UFO could take you out if it's not there or it's there, but if it was there recently. The purpose of the UFO was to make everything grow. So if you have water, soil, gas, combustion, you have air, all types of stuff, and it's working in a robotic process manner, that's why they impose gravity on you. Because if you look at gravity, it's just not pulling you down. It's a sense of intelligence. That's what gravity is. And I argue that, and I win that argument because that's the basis of electricity. If you look at a thundercloud looks like a big white cloud that's shaped as a circled UFO. And then the bottom of the thundercloud opens and you hear the boom, 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 boom. It's not really the lightning strike. It's a cloud turning into plasma, basically. A gas cloud turning into plasma and then having a reaction, a chemical reaction. And it's a violent sound. It happens every single time. It can happen so far or so high away that you don't have to see it. Okay? So that's the scientific quote / religious part of the orbs. Because you're bringing up Donald Trump. Now, you're not going to call him prophecy because he's related to politics. You're just going to call him a politician, and either the drones is here for his security because people are trying to kill him, or they really want to, wipe off the coordinates of something and then attack. It's either or. So what's interesting is that now that you know that plasma is alive, and that's why humans act the way they are, because there's plasma in blood. Like I said, think about the trail of the UFO, right? So we're gonna look at his trail as a blood trail. Say the UFO is dying, perhaps, or disintegrating. It doesn't have flesh. It doesn't decompose. It doesn't have rigor mortis. It doesn't get mites. It doesn't get worms. A UFO, but human flesh does. However, we have plasma in the blood. So we're going to look at the blood trail of a UFO. So the Son of God, we're going to call him Jesus, shedded his blood, we're going to call this Christianity, shedded his blood for the people on the earth. That's how you look at it. You are a part of the entity. You are the plasma. The plasma is the soul. Even though plasma is corona blue, you get green every single time. Blue comes from green, whether you like it or not. There's always going to be green and blue. That's the sky and the water. You see, the water gets turned green due to the pollen and stuff from trees. That comes from trees. And then there's stuff like moss and molds and stuff that's growing, and fungi and fungus growing underwater. So we are just a body, an embodiment. Because there's different types of living organisms. We have the flesh just like the animal, but a plant and a seed and a tree is a living organism. Remember they taught you that in school. That's why it was mandatory to go to school. Remember, an insect is different than a human and it's different than a plant. So it's a living organism. So just perhaps, maybe you're just saying, bro, out of nowhere, maybe human beings were made this embodiment on purpose to have a specific goal. And we're smart enough and capable enough to adapt and listen to fulfill this criteria. And we just don't do it. So what are we needed for? If the earth is already depleted because the giant grown trees that used to grow out of planet Earth, if they're no longer here and never coming back, and our purpose was to get them back, then nothing on this planet matters. I'm not trying to be a scientist, a pastor, a imam, preacher, nothing. I'm not trying to be none of that. I'm just telling you something real honest and truthful. From a spin, a creation that we just really don't understand. And as we understanding it, we don't want to believe it because it's frightening and terrifying and hard and difficult. So we're being negative and we're denying the work as a collective. Can you believe me that human behavior is manipulating the animal behavior, the vegetation, the food, the air, and everything? So when you say we God, you're right. We're in control. And look how we treat the earth. So they're combining energy weapons, science technology, military technology, space wars, new military technology, transparency clouds, and energy weapons. Like I said, what is a blackout gonna do? Lord forbid. Oh my stars. A blackout in this cold like this. You not see where this is going? If not God, listen to me. If not God, who else is calling the shots? It's the person in your world. It's the person in your country. You see the descriptive detail? Symbolic detail, descriptive detail? You see the words is making you see pictures without you really seeing the pictures. So being as it may, as we find out, we're just the creation that didn't make it. Look how we being handled. All of this shit is a punishment and it's a laugh. The federal government purposely got TikTok off of every other line except for the 5G lines because it slows down the traffic robots. All of the big time YouTubers, they use the traffic robots. And they notice a big change in 5G compared to 4G. This is the federal government allowing and wanting this to happen. They're just not allowing it. They are the ones that make up the plan. This shit brings domestic terrorism. So now they're trying to get rid of the lower budget phones, give you the 5G phones. They want you to get on the YouTube scheme, the Facebook scheme, the Instagram, the TikTok scheme. But they want you to do it the right way. And that's the Republicans. They have to get you rich first to get you richer. It can never happen being a Democrat because everything is scheduled. Entrepreneurship is high as being a Republican, but it's open in America. The Democrats, even though they're not supposed to, they still try to put their hands and their feet in everything and destroy your personal entrepreneurship. You don't need either side to be a business person. You don't have to vote. Once again, this is the IRS getting mad at America. And who is below God? So you got God, the angels is is in a different category. You got God and the angels. Then you have the devil and his demons. And then you have people that argue. They said before you put the devil and the demons and before you put a angel is something called a jinn. Certain people's charts is different, just like the God conscious chakra, the chakra chart. Certain people's charts is different. But to get to it, we don't see no jinns. All we see is incorporeal. So we see something that's ghostly, but we're denying it. Okay? That's the wrong answer. I'll be your pallbearer and hold your urn. You feel what I'm saying? That's scary, dog. So we're not getting it. We see something that's not there. We feel the wind when it blows, but we don't see it all the time. But we deny it. So since we can't blame God for this, and human is next on the chart, it has to be the most powerful human in your world. Third world countries, fourth world countries, fifth world countries. That's your president. There's a barrier in Antarctica with different type of human beings. Was that construction man, that scary construction man with the beard and the crazy face and the teeth and the messed up teeth, was he from Antarctica? He was so cold in Antarctica that this cold over here does nothing for him. He's warm, and you can see it in his skin. They let people from Antarctica and stuff like that from the other side of the world come over here, and they give them a degree, meaning they do what Kamala Harris did and give them asylum and give them a certain way in life. Now, all these people got to do is breathe on you and get you sick. You go to the Africans, the natives in Africa, they breathe on you or cough on you, they'll get you sick. So this is all well calculated things that happen. If you're not strong enough to take that, you will get sick if somebody breathes on you too hard. Those natives, the other natives too, from the other part of the world, from the Spanish lands, from the Caribbeans, from everywhere. Europeans, the European savages that they're not proud of, that they don't show it. They got European savages out there, white people out there being savages. They protect their kind, they protect their image, so they don't show it. You feel me? But it's like that, yeah. They don't want to show you how savage a white man really is. They want you to think that a white person is a galactic being with super mighty powers that could solve your problems. That's part of the feds. The feds are the fucking super galactic people. Yeah, they the ones that's untouchable. Of course, that's the issue. You got regular people in charge of regular people. So if there is an entity or there are people on other planets and we getting lied to, which a lot of y'all believe that we getting lied to, and those humans are trying to get over here, of course it'll start a space war, an intergalactic war. That's what this shit is called. You just use different pitches. It's just like when they showed the Native Americans was red back in the day, but they didn't show the black Indians that was from here, just like that was on the East Coast, just like that existed in the West Coast. They just showed a different color. They showed a specific certain color to teach a specific certain amount. It was probably a greater amount of people that had this look, and they taught them all something that was wrong on purpose. That's just like teaching us about the planets and them not being life on it, and there's no people on planets out of this earth. That's thinking outside the box. All these years went by. We had a camera and a camcorder for how many years? And they just releasing Marvel Rivals. We wanted this game, a game like this, and we deserved it when Sega Dreamcast came out. Y'all remember Sega Dreamcast? But if you wanted to stay in the house a long time ago and play the game, you was considered soft. They called you the F word. They called you a nerd. They bullied you. You didn't deserve a girlfriend. You wasn't supposed to get a girlfriend because you know how to play the game so much. That's why you gamble. If you get good at the game, you gamble $20. You gamble $100. You know what I'm saying? You gamble. Anyway, the technology didn't enhance too much, for me to clap. We just getting a game like Marvel Rivals. That could have been played on Sega Dreamcast. My point for saying that, they're purposely delaying us on technology, knowing that's what we want. Flying cars. Certain freakazoids want female robots that could feel pussy penetration and shit. It's just a bunch of stuff going on. Just being real. Certain fetishes and craves, they have to be fulfilled. Just saying, right? So we getting older. People is getting in power. And people that are getting in power have these weird fetishes and craves. Such as Donald Trump. Just like Max Kellerman. Soon as they see a transgender, they hop right on. They don't give a fuck if their wife and kids is there. That's why them niggas is in the house. They don't care if they're out in public or whatever. If there's a transgender outside and Max Kellerman see one, he hops on it. He's trying to suck that nigga dick or fuck him and everything. Dead ass serious. Donald Trump is the same way. Donald Trump used to be in White Plains, New York a lot back in the day. He used to be around my people a lot back in the day, all right? So that shit was prominent like that. Now, what proves something is races, right? Colors. You see how we cursed ourselves? A person is a person. If there's black people that act like Max Kellerman and Donald Trump when they see a transgender, I'm just saying. So y'all made race a curse to yourself because now race goes hand in hand with sexism. A group of specific race is determining if somebody else from a different race should have sex. Why wouldn't they? If they determine on their own, such as things as incest or whatever, but whatever. The ultra plane is to show us that we're negative. And they accomplished it. They had a time period. You can't just have forever. Technically, as soon as negativity shows, you're supposed to delete it. They let us rock for a long ass time in negativity, meaning the federal government. And you can compare that to death. If you want to compare the UFO blood trail, plasma blood trail, to a human's blood trail, then do it. So we was negative for a long ass time. And there's no coming back for it. You gotta understand that. Why do certain things match? That's part of our life. Numbers, the mantra, numerology, the mantra, the zodiac, religion. If you see something outside by yourself, you just seen something and it'll remind you of something, you had deja vu. That's very uncontrollable. So everybody that's high on chakras, that's your orange chakra doing that to you. You see how you can never be perfect, and it'll never be perfect. It's the orange chakra. It's the orange chakra. I'm just saying. So if I answer your questions on anything, all right, you can just, you know what I'm saying, give me the thumbs up or whatever. I appreciate them likes. And if you have further questions, if I skip some, I try to hit all detail because I try to put everything together. I'll answer you separately. You just gotta really make it known that you want to know it instead of me thinking that you already know it. I might think you might already know something and just might not give my input on it. You feel what I'm saying? So what's the sense of me saying it? But I do know that a lot of y'all don't understand what a plasma is. You see? You see how I feel the way I feel? Such as the gang shit, bloods, and this blue plasma. That's why they say blood is blue before it hits the air. And that's an argument in the word degree. And you see how a UFO works? So it looks like the Bloods, which was the strongest gang on the East Coast, at one point in time, they depleted us. It's like a gay germ. If you watch Bob Lazar, a corona backfire, a corona discharge came from a UFO. It's like a blue fire and a blue electricity. It's a plasma. That can start COVID-19. I want y'all to understand that shit. That if you inhale that shit, it can give you SARS, pneumonia, COVID, and it can put you out forever. A corona blast from a UFO, something that's full of chemicals and oxygen, if it goes into the air, which it did, and it changes the temperature, which it can make it rain. Like if it discharges up, it can make it rain right there in that spot and nowhere else. Or it could make it, like whatever it is, it could dry it out. It could make a different type of fog or a cloud. That, you know what I'm saying? Sulfur. You heard of sulfur before? Sulfur it didn't come from humans. That's naturally organic to the earth. Humans grow hair for protection of the weather. Humans' hair grow down. That's why you have body hair in your private parts and stuff like that. The follicles is movable, especially if the line isn't attached the right way. Your line can move up and down. You can get damaged that way. You have to get your line pulled down. So a whole bunch of stuff. You need hair. Sulfur is in the earth. Sulfur helps hair. That could be in a UFO. So if y'all are slow like that, if you don't understand that everything is made, we are everything, then your life is going to be a little difficult. Because you have to take in something to learn it, to give it out. These orbs is shooting at shit. And that's why they dropped the Project Bluebeam. Not just to cover up that, I'm talking about the videos in the sky, like over the Empire State Building. I'm not just talking about covering up the energy weapon that they used to build the new city. No, I'm talking about they trying to cover up the real shit. They anticipated. They knew it could come out. They knew it was happening. It was on their radar. That Venezuelan video where the UFO flew into the woods. It flew into the woods or whatever. And then all of a sudden the UFO turned into two people. And it looked like two people was crossing the street, but they was frozen. It's stuff like that that's happening, dog.
Because we not everywhere. We not. Think about where them places in the mountains. We don't live in the mountains. Who used to live in them type of places, the mountains? The tall trees. That's what a mountain is. It's a petrified, extinct tall tree. That was the other living entity. If you believe in Draconians, Lyrians and all of that, and Orions and all of that, the reason why planet Earth was about, it was because of the peace treaty was planet Earth, was the trees. And then when all the aliens had supposed to came to this Earth, they made the giants and all the living creatures smarter. And they just started destroying the whole shit to rebel against the aliens for coming to their planet. You see the curse? You see how the government matches that shit financially? We didn't take advantage of YouTube. The regular police can't arrest you for that shit. Okay. The regular state never told us we could white collar and blue collar the feds like that. Because the federal government takes whatever wrong shit we do in the state and they use it for good. They just use it as a tax write-off. They just use that shit as paperwork. That's why people lie. You can sit up there and lie on your taxes and get a whole bunch of money. They just need the paperwork. The state versus the federal government. The agreement is just the paperwork. They don't have enough paperwork with enough money from enough citizens. Y'all niggas is not making enough money. Y'all should be white collar and blue collar scheming everything fucking moving. If y'all got 5 robots, traffic robots, the YouTube robots that cost $400 a piece, you need to get about 9 of them shit to have 9 computers so you could get that $40 million a month, per month. That's what they telling us. That's what a pyramid scheme is. That's why they named it that. So we as a society, we doing all this fucked up shit to each other and we ain't got no money. So it's either us not having no money making us act like that, or it's us not having no money and being brazen and being able to get ourselves out of trouble. Because that's the type of shit that sells in court. That's what being a celebrity is about. Being a superstar. They get on it, yeah, I did it, and what? Star. Look what Star said to DJ Envy. Told him he'll rape his 4-year-old kid. Look at all the fucked up shit all the celebrities did. Diddy and the Diddler. That whole situation. Drake's and the Dogs. Mystical raping people in elevators. Them niggas got away. Orlando Anderson just coming out the closet the way he did. He went from being a little kid, everybody loved him. Now that nigga's zesty. Everybody got a certain natural way in America. Just saying. This shit is on the radar. On the radar. They waited to give us Marvel Rivals, though. Why 2025? You give us a game like Marvel Rivals, really think, because they knew that shit was going to sit y'all niggas down. They needed y'all sat down right here. You need permission and censorship for everything. They probably tried to drop this game 20 years ago, and the federal government didn't allow it. Because the federal government is the Illuminati. The federal government is the one with the tarot cards. The federal government is the making this shit happen. Hiring prisoners, hiring criminals to go commit an act. Letting them live before they commit the act. If they don't commit the act when they supposed to, they kill them. Or they got a radical. And if nobody wants to do it, they'll do it themselves with the military weapons. That's society. That nigga from Russia don't give a fuck about us. He don't care. He said it. He said it. He said, I don't hate Americans. They're just suffering. And they suffer too much. That nigga's basically telling you, I'm about to put y'all all out. The nasty shit that go on. We only been alive. What's the lifespan? What's the lifespan of life? For y'all to get up here and be calling 30-year-old people old, 40-year-old people old, 50-year-old people old, that's fucked up. Ain't nobody guaranteed 100 years, 1,000 years. We don't know that much when we born. We don't know nothing. When you see what I'm saying? We don't know nothing when we born. We don't know that much now. When you get older, you just try to enjoy your life with what you learn and what you was raised on. Y'all up here calling old people old, and then they trying to take the youth out of you. Can't know everything in the world, right? Okay, that's another mistake. Niggas gamble. The government has to go away one way or another. The government has to get changed. Due to criminal activity with regular citizens, the biasness, the prejudiceness, the racism is just too unfair. You feel me? Somebody can get pointed out and get called a molester and get beat up, but then somebody set somebody on fire and they don't touch him. The cops are shooting people without guns. They ain't gun him down. They're just gonna let him go to jail. You see what I'm saying? And it's making the news. That's why I said, who is under God? Listen, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Think about that. One nation under God. We're the only people under God, and we probably made this shit up. We're probably extraterrestrial aliens from a different planet. We came to this planet, took it over. We made y'all niggas from us, and we know how to control y'all. Under God, indivisible. Yeah. God, the government. Government of departments. G-O-D. Told you. Wasn't bullshit. If the planet is hijacked, it's hijacked. This shit is dead already. And they know it because the tall trees didn't come back. If you notice the fucking characteristics of an alien, they always have this alien that's just one with the earth, who is Allah with the earth, who is the creator of the earth, who could help the earth. They always have an alien in our brain, no matter how this shit looks on the outside, as this patent creator that could fix the earth. Notice that shit. But then they teach us that the trees isn't growing back. So if you were so godly, what happened? Where's the trees? Oh, I get it. One nation under God. You see what they did? They put when they said one nation and they used their two hands, they put it at the apex. They put it up there where their hair was. They said one nation and they put their hands up like this. One nation, and then they said under God and put their hands underneath. Chest level. Okay? Let me rewind it to you. I caught that in kindergarten. That's why they made me start writing penmanship with my right hand when I was naturally left-handed, like my father had taught me. They said one nation under God, like this. Okay? Remember that shit. Since y'all watching me. Right? Because I'm not going to stop flagging y'all niggas. Y'all sounding too much like me. I'm older than the majority of y'all boys. And for the older heads that's watching me, I could bet you didn't go to the school that I went through. Every school is not the same. So you should not be saying the shit that I'm saying. You got to speed it up, right? The 5G. Right. Y'all boys fell in love with the content. Y'all robots is fucked up now. That robot you used to get from the 4G and the 3G, that shit is over now. Now if you go buy a whole bunch of 5G, you're money laundering. Okay? Just like I said, I told y'all, I passed the cop test. I am federal agent property. Okay? That's money laundering now. Now you got a whole bunch of devices spinning your channel in 5G on TikTok. So it's a slow shutdown. Started from COVID. 5 years later, you still gotta wear a mask in court when they tell you to if you're a fucking inmate. See that? It's a negative. Clear line. Negative. That's what they draw in dollar bills. People that love money so much. I love money. I ain't gonna front. When I see people write on money, I feel some type of way. That shit is heartbreaking. Try heartbreaking. I like money too. I don't like, yeah. One nation under God. See the hand trick, the magicians? They got full contact, full control of this shit. We don't know what story is true. We don't know if the Native Americans went through that shit. We don't know if the slaves went through that shit because we didn't live through it. That's what you learn at the end. Just fuck everything. Everything, we just deny everything. If it didn't happen in your lifetime and you ain't see it physically, just deny it. Be smart enough to engage in a conversation if it make you some bread. I'll sit up there and I'd start teaching you about the Christian Bible. And I'm not Christian. You put that money up, I'll help you understand your book because a lot of people don't understand their book. I'm not a criminal for that shit. I shouldn't be looked at wrong. A lot of people have read it and still don't understand everything. So if I can help you understand by stepping out of my norms and helping you with yours, I'm not trying to convert you to Islam. I mean, a lot of Arabs is dirty. I ain't gonna front. Y'all niggas thought y'all was getting away with this. Just because I show resentment towards the Caribbeans and the Hispanics who don't know that they really Native American Indian on the East Coast and all they got to do is ask for reparations and they just won't do it. It just doesn't make no sense to me. I know I got spout with them because I'm related to a lot of them. But if you look at the other angle of this situation, it just doesn't make any sense either. With the Arabs, because y'all niggas is Native American on the East Coast also. It's just, you see what I'm saying? And y'all do some crazy shit that don't make no sense. It just shows racism. Tribal Indian. You look like a mean little mad tribal Indian that can't get along with our mumbling and shit. Right or wrong. That's what it looked like. Y'all niggas, yeah, y'all don't get off easy. If Islam has never been defeated, right? Sunni Islam has been defeated. Bet that. And it could cost you a planet. It ain't got to cost you a city. It ain't got to cost you a state. It ain't got to cost you a country either. This shit could cost you a planet because you see how strong it is. So who's the terrible shit that goes here on in Philly? In here? With the Arabs and the other people that convert to Islam? What? What? It's over. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. It's not Shia Ahmadiyya's fault at all. If a World War III pop off, if these are signs of a World War III, you know, we want America to look this way. If it don't, we're gonna bomb this shit. Type situation. If this is a World War III, it's over. It has everything to do with religion. Everything. That's what that Ukraine and Russia shit is secretly about too. But if it involves America, I bet you it's going to involve Islam. Bet you. What else is new, right? I was smart. I didn't know the words. I didn't know the word subconscious when I was 7 years old. Okay? I didn't know incorporeal. I didn't know how to say incorporeal. I knew what it meant. We all came across it. Imperialism. Go look up the word imperialism. Imperialism is exactly what we're going through. It's when a country is trying to dominate. I'll leave it vague just like that. I'll leave it bland just like that. Look up these words. We didn't know these words at certain ages. but the action has been going on, and then they brainwash you into the action. They season and groom you into the actions of incorporeal and imperialism. You see what I'm saying? When you find out what the subconscious is, because you don't know it, you just going through it first. You don't know the name of the word. You're just going through the shit, the definition. You're going through the definition. Niggas had no chance. We haven't lived thousands and thousands of years. I'm not 1,000 years old. That has to be a curse. If them trees is dead, and them tiny tree people, if them little magicians, if them niggas is the devil and demons, then I believe it. Or if they the jinn, I believe it. If that's what this shit is all about. How could you not understand the purpose of a giant tree? How could you not? It has to be a curse. What negativity would giant trees bring to planet Earth? Just saying. Oh. Y'all get the negative and positive effect. Alright? So if you feel like aliens from another country, another planet or Earth came over here and they call white people, and they know that the planet is dead and they could do whatever they want because of the trees, the tall trees. If you feel that way, and that's why they got to control, and that's why they get the light, you might be correct about something. That's all I'm saying. We can have fun and fuck with each other, but that's the overall purpose. The planet is fucking up. They're trying to make something electrical, 5D, to basically have an imprint in the air like a UFO. To make a blood plasma trail like a UFO. You see that? And it's robotic. And they're trying to program humans as a safeguard and a safe haven to be robotic because the human heart is strong, along with the brain. So it's a different type of exercise, a different type of adaptation. Like I said in the beginning of the video, instead of living in teepees outside, we living in houses. So is the house 3D or 4D? What's going on? See? So nothing is fake. That shit is really happening. Plasma. Electric plasma.